case of government overreach that's about to take effect, and of course it's one of those small little things that they hope you don't notice. Remember, this is how people take freedom from other people. They take it from you in small increments. They think, well, you're really not going to notice. Kind of like the raw milk fight. The raw milk fight that we're part of. Only 3% of this nation let me try that again. Only 3% of this nation drinks raw milk, so they can take away that freedom and nobody will notice. Yeah, nobody will notice. But keep in mind, once they take a freedom away from anyone, they take a freedom away from everyone. Even though you don't use it, you still had your freedom taken away. Make sense? You don't need to use your freedom in order for you to lose it. And that's kind of where we're lost as Americans. We don't understand that point very well. So freedom gets stripped away piece by piece until there's nothing left. Well, let me give you another example of stripping away freedom little by little. This one comes from farmtoconsumer.org. The Michigan DNR is going hog wild, the article says. In a brazen power grab threatening the livelihood of hundreds of small farmers, the Michigan Department of Natural Resources is using State Invasive Species Act to expand its jurisdiction beyond hunting and fishing and into farm operations. On April 1st, 2012, which is right around the corner, they will be prohibiting farmers from breeding different types of swine. Now, I know a lot of you are going to think, well, why do I care? I'm not a hog farmer. So what? If somebody's losing their freedom, you need to stand up for it, period. Period. I mean, there's no other way around it. There's no, well, this one doesn't affect me, because yes, it does. Now, the bigger question is, why on earth would the DNR want to expand their role and get into farming? And if they're going to get into farming, why on earth would they try to get involved in hogging? Or swine farming, or whatever you want to refer it as. I'm going to tell you, and it's kind of scary. There is a company that we would all know by name who is working on, and I don't even know if the article says this, so I don't want to put words into the article's mouth or the writer of that article. I'm just going to tell you the news that I'm aware of. There is a company that has worked very hard on developing its own brand, if you will, of hog, of swine. And they're patenting it. This company has also patented life in its seed developments. But now it's working on patenting livestock. They can genetically modify the livestock, just like we've seen in the past with the salmon. I mean, this isn't sci-fi, this is reality. They genetically modify the livestock in order to create something that's unique. Once it becomes unique, you file for a utility patent or some such oversight, and you get to retain the rights to your breed. Well, all of a sudden, if the DNR is going to come in and say, oh, now this hog, we're going to classify this as an invasive species, so you cannot raise it on a farm. And this one, this one we're going to consider an invasive species also, so you cannot raise this one on a farm. Well, what ones can I raise on the farm? Well, wouldn't you know it? The ones you can raise are the ones that are genetically modified. Of course. So if you still want to be a hog farmer, then you're going to have to play by our rules. See how they get you? It's kind of like volleyball. It's a bump, set, spike. First we create a new breed of animal. That's the bump. Then we eliminate the current offerings within that species. That's the set. And then we make it illegal and punishable if you don't play along with our new genetically modified breed, and that's the spike. Bump, set, spike. Done. So that's what we're seeing happen in Michigan, and it should be alarming to every single one of you. That right there should be enough to scare you, where today at work you start telling your coworkers, oh my goodness, did you hear about the power grab, the freedom that was stripped from people in Michigan? And I kid you not, if it happens in Michigan, if they get away with it in Michigan, it's going to expand to other locations. That's how this works. Take it away on a small scale and then expand it. Now next you're going to see this happen with other forms of livestock. But the thing that's really scary about this happening with swine, what do we know about pigs? Well, their organs are very close to human organs. Matter of fact, they use pig heart valves to replace human heart valves. Well, if they're going to be altering the DNA of a pig, and that pig is then raised for whatever purposes, and those heart valves make it into the human, then that human is the recipient of genetically modified swine parts. Which would mean that human now has genetically modified DNA in him or her. And nobody sees the writing on the wall. Nobody sees where that could lead. I mean, come on. We've already seen in Colorado where the FDA has filed a lawsuit saying that if you've had stem cell treatment, treatment is considered drug use. Drugs are regulated by the FDA, so you, therefore, are made up of stem cells and are thus regulated by the FDA. They want to regulate you because you had stem cell treatment. I kid you not. You can look it up. They filed the case in Colorado. Well, what's next? You don't think this company that has patented a new form of pig is going to say, wait a second. Sally Sundress over here just got some heart valves that were made from my genetically modified pig. They work better than the other ones, so now all of a sudden doctors want these heart valves. And if Sally Sundress is using our genetically modified, patented swine body parts, well then Sally Sundress becomes property of this corporation. And according to precedent and law, well then there'd be a very hard case to win, wouldn't it? Because it is their patented product inside Sally Sundress. Well, we have a problem there, Vern. We have a problem where they're literally taking over our body through regulation from the inside out while we're too busy, I'm going to watch Dancing with the Stars. And this is the world we get. I hope you get that this is a big story. Because most of you are just going to pass it off as some farming story up in Michigan about a bunch of pigs. Well, Josh, I'm Jewish. I don't even eat pigs. Doesn't matter. I'm not telling you have to eat them. I'm telling you have to stand up for the freedom which it represents. When they start doing this, when they start telling us what we can and cannot raise, when they start controlling food, if I controlled food, I control you, period. Same with a pet. If I control the dog's food, I control the dog. Now, there's no arguing that. There's no way to spin that to say, no, the dog is still free. No, he isn't, and neither are you. Wake up. All right, back right after this. Don't go anywhere.